let's get into
Trump has been very pro-Israel, and so he's been very pro-Bibi.
Correct.
And matter of factly, Tate. So do you think he's wrong on that, being so supportive of Israel?
You know, this whole Jewish question thing is actually an interesting one. I'm going to talk about this.
By the way, like Adam's saying that Trump is pro-Bibi, I don't think that's true, guys. Whatever you're hearing and seeing is not what's going on behind the scenes, okay?
It's gonna get me in more trouble. How much trouble am I in? Let me count it.
80%.
The Orgons are coming for you,
I'm
Tate.
fucked. Right. T, we're going to jail. Pack a bag.
Tristan.
Right. Pack a bag. Right. So this, you know, it's actually kind of frustrating for me because when I came out of jail, I did Piers Morgan, and I told Piers that what was happening in Gaza was a massacre. And this was on like October 9th, like 2 days after.
You said genocide.
Genocide. I said it was unfair what was happening. This was before it became like widespread. This was only a couple days after. And I was told not to say that. That's going to get you in a lot of trouble. But that's what I believed, so I said it at the time. And there's a lot of people online who are fervently anti-Jew and are very anti-Semitic. And I know who these people are. And you know these people are, a lot of them. Sometimes,
Kanye West.
Yeah, well, so no, sometimes they have a point of view, and sometimes they just go way too far with it. So I think this whole argument is kind of two-pronged. The first prong is that there are people in the world who blame the Jews for absolutely everything, and that is pathetic. And these people think that they worked out the secret of the world, and they're based, and they blame Jewish people for everything. They're like, oh, but that's the Jews. What is? Race mixing is the Jews. Maybe they're attacking me for supporting race mixing. My dad is black, my mother is white. Why do you think the Israelis called me and told me to say this? It's my upbringing. Or they'll say, oh, but you can't get a girlfriend because the girls have all been subverted by the media. That's the Jews. How did the Jews keep you out the gym? Because your arms are skinny, bro. Like, how did the Jews stop you from being a man they want to fuck? Explain that to me. They go so far with it. And if you try and point this out, you're instantly a Mossad agent. Even I get this. After defending Palestine and risking my life, because they could have locked me back up and I was told not to, they're still not happy with me because I don't go far enough with blaming the rain on the Jews. It rained outside, you didn't have an umbrella, the Jews did it. So there's the psycho side of it. Mm-hmm. But as a rational person who likes to see both sides of the argument, I would also argue it is interesting that it seems the only influence over the American government that we're not scared about or we don't measure is the Israeli influence of the American government. It seems they do have some control over the American government. They do lobby heavily, and nobody talks about it in a negative way. Whereas if the Chinese do it or the Russian do it, there seems to be a big problem. It doesn't seem to be measured when Israel does it, and nobody seems to be concerned by it. Now, whether that's a good or bad thing, you can get someone on more qualified than me to discuss. There's people more qualified than me. I would argue as a rational, intelligent individual that the American government should be pertinently aware of all influences that are put on it. Shouldn't you measure them? I'm not saying even stop them, but shouldn't you know? Because let me ask another question. This is a thought experiment. If you allow a nation to influence your nation and you allow it to happen unchecked, who's influencing the influencer? I don't know this at all. This is off the top of my head. Who says Israel's not being influenced by China, Russia, whoever? What I'm saying is they can be a conduit if you allow it to be unchecked. So I understand that Israel seems to be the only country that can influence American politics without being checked. I understand that. I understand that's strange. I agree that should be measured. That's true. However, to argue that the Jews are the only reason why you're a little bitch hiding in your house at home, that's also bullshit. There's definitely a lot of irrationality on both sides. That's what I would say about that whole subject. And I think that people should be more rational and approach it rationally. But that subject seems to get people instantly into black and white camps. And those are the subjects that are hardest to discuss.
I love the breakdown.
Where there's no subjectivity.
That's the part of the breakdown. See, this is, because in this breakdown, the way you just eloquently put together, guess who can be right? Both sides.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like, no, Trump did this, and that's he's owned. He's this. Maybe he's just being strategic.
Yeah.
No, but that side, they have control of everybody. Maybe they do have a little bit. No, they don't. Maybe they do. That's the subjectivity. The keyword you're using here is that. We have to be able to do that more often. It was broken down so well the way you just did it right now. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just was really...
Thank you. But this is the interesting part, because there are certain subjects where it is instantly snapping to black and white camps.
Right.
And those are the problems that never get fixed. Those are the problems that never get fixed. There has to be subjectivity and discussion in all things, and both sides can have a point, and it has to be discussed at large. So it's actually, I would make this point actually, for the people who are truly fearful of Israel and truly fearful of Jewish influence, you hinder yourselves by not being open to rational conversations, by not being invited on speaking podcasts, by not being open to ideas, because you don't accept that not every single thing on the planet is the Jews. If you want to be reasonable and responsible and have interesting and open conversations, you'll get a lot further. But when you put up this wall of every single thing is Jews, every single thing they've ever done, every single thing, you're just going to destroy destroy your own movement. Because when a half-black Muslim who defended Palestine is being accused of being a Mossad agent, you may have gone too far. Perhaps. Guys, maybe you've gone a bit far. But, I mean, I guess it doesn't cross their minds. Because I promote race mixing, because my mother's white and my father's black, it looks like I work for the Jews. So, what can you do?